Hi everyone, and welcome to the next episode of Perardua's Tropico 5 Let's Play. We've completed the main quest, the first main quest, or mission, and we're now on to the next mission, which is Special Relationship on the island of Bayo. Bayo, I could be pronouncing that wrong, and if I am, I apologize. It could be Bao Bao, it could be a lot of other things, so if you know the correct pronunciation and wants to tell me, you are more than welcome to. Nevertheless, this particular mission is very raw resource exportation heavy, and I'm not entirely sure, but I believe that this particular island is the island that was added extra as part of the Steam release. So if you did not get Tropico 5 through Steam, there's a good chance that you may not have this particular mission or this island available to you. Now, what's interesting about this particular mission is that it's not a direct build-off of the previous mission. You're not exactly jumping in and going, okay, we just declared independence and here's the next step. This is a completely separate mission to kind of build your skills as a dictator. So in this mission, you're going to be challenged to export a certain number of goods and to entice and win over the favor of the U.S. president. And while you're doing that, you're going to be faced with challenges such as a high tax rate from the crown, as it were. So under this mission, we're still indebted to the crown. We're still controlled by the crown. So, kick it right off the bat. The order has now wants us to make $5,000 from exports. And when that happens, the U.S. president's going to come and visit. And that will actually trigger a number of other additional quests. So right off the bat, we've got that quest. We also have a quest out here at the dock. And of course, we need to... this quest is all about exportation. It's all about trading. So we need to have a strong trade center. So the Platinum package, which is going to cost us $4,000, but it's going to give us additional trading offers, I think is the right way to go in this particular instance. We're not going to have to worry about building too much. Really, it's going to be about exporting goods. So the Platinum package is what we're going to pick up. We have another quest over here, and that's going to kick us off with building a cattle ranch, and that will extend our mandate. Our mandate's currently at 4 years, so we have 4 years basically to complete this entire mission. So we're just going to get started right off the bat, and we're going to get in a cattle ranch. Again, you're going to see the grid, and that will help determine where you should put your cattle ranch. I'm going to stick mine up here, and of course we need to connect that with a road. And I'm going to draw this road, whoop, something like that. I figured, you know, it's so easy, you know, in SimCity, it's so easy to build straight roads. And, you know, just line them up and grid it out. But you don't have that ease, if you will, here in Tropico 5. So why not make some curvy roads? Why not let them go where they want to go? So that's what we're going to do. Let's, you know, we're just starting out a new city. Let's take a look at the almanac real quick and see where we stand. Lots of expenses, not a lot of revenue. I think we all know that. We've got 40 unemployed people right now, though. So that's something to take into consideration. Look over at the happiness tab, homeless, lots and lots of homeless. And that's going to be a concern. Homeless and unemployed is going to be a concern when we start off in this city. We've got a bit of money right now. What I want to do is I want to kick us off right. I'm going to build a couple country homes because I want to make sure we have that option. I'm also going to take this opportunity to take a look at the edicts, and I want to issue the extra rations edict, mainly because it's going to make everybody happier, but it will also increase food consumption, which is going to be important for us. And I'm going to go ahead and increase the speed because it's a little too slow right now, and basically we're waiting on the ranch to finish getting built. before we can really do anything. Boom, there it is.
His Royal Majesty.
And now we can select our subsidy. In this particular case, I'm actually going to select the personal gift to up my Swiss bank account by 5,000. And the reason is because it's early on in the game. My mandate is over in 4 years and 4 months, so I have plenty of time. I don't need to extend it. I don't need the extra colonists. We already have enough unemployed people. And we've got about 11,000 in the bank, so I don't necessarily need the treasury subsidy. So I'm going to take the personal gift for right now. Now, the other thing I want to do right now is actually build another dock. Considering that exporting is going to be a major piece of this quest, it's important that we have... Wow, why can't I... Must be placed on the shore. Okay, there we go. It's important that we have a great infrastructure and extra ships to export out of. So I'm going to put in that extra dock right now, so we've got it. Right now, the quest still stands at just exporting profits. We need 5,000 export profits. So we can take a look. We do have the cattle ranch built, so I can go ahead and take a look at the trade and see what they have. So bananas and bananas for export, all right. Wool, tobacco. So we don't have anything right now for milk or meat, which is what's produced by the cattle ranch.
Technological progress is the path to...
All right, and we've got another quest here to build a library. That's really easy and simple to do. I think we can definitely do that. Research and education. Library is going to cost us $5,000. It's not going to leave us with much money, but a library is going to be very important because it helps us to research those upgrades that we're going to need for the ranches and the plantations, which are going to be incredibly important, those upgrades as we move along. Let's go and take a look at this ranch right now. We've got some managers available, and it would be great if we went ahead and added some managers. Now, we don't really have anybody wonderfully effective for this particular area, so I'm going to actually back out of that. And we're going to wait to add some managers. We got our first ship arriving here to do its little import-export. We exported about 2,000 worth, so we're about a third of the way to the 5,000 mark. Granted, we only just completed our ranch, so that's something to keep in mind. What we may want to do is think about adding an additional resource to export. In fact, now that our ranch is done, they want us to export meat, about 3,000 units of meat, and we'll get an extension of our mandate by 6 months. So I think we can definitely do that. Let's check their trade again, just to see if that's changed at all. Pineapples is a major export right now. That might be something we should look at doing. Or wool and tobacco. So that actually sounds like a good idea to me. I'm curious to see what can we put down from a raw resource perspective in order to do tobacco. So let's flip that to tobacco. Lots of green, lots of great places we could stick this. I'm going to stick it right... Let's see here. Can I put it over here? Let's put it right here. Right there, so it's right in the center of town. We'll get a tobacco going. And then this way we'll get that trade contract to export tobacco, and that will help increase our export profits. So because we haven't hurt any relationship with the Crown yet, they just sent us $5,800, which is incredibly helpful, especially because apparently we were negative and I didn't realize it. And we've got the library built, which means we can start research. So let's go ahead. We're going to go right into doing some ranch upgrades. Looks like it's going to take about 13 months, but what we're going to do is to help speed that up is add our inventor dynasty person to it. And that will give us some added research points, and hopefully we'll research stuff a little bit faster. But by researching the ranch upgrades, that will incredibly help us get to the numbers so far, so much faster than we currently are. And we're exporting a little bit more, not much. We're about 2/3 of the way to the goal right now. And now we've got another quest.
The king has organized a royal cook-off. We must show him that Tropican cuisine is the best cuisine.
Who are we going to send to this cook-off? Now, we can send a dynasty member, which will increase our 10% food export prices, and we do have a Dynasty member that we're not using, so that might be an option. We could send Penultimo, which will give us a 6-month extension of our mandate, which I don't know that we need right now. We're at 3 years and 3 months. I think we've got plenty of time to meet our goals. Or we could send the Personal Chef, which will increase revolutionary support. We're not really worried about revolutionary support. That's not a goal for this mission. Our goal in this mission is not to declare independence. So I'm going to go ahead and send a Dynasty member because I want that extra food prices. And since Heidi is not assigned to be a manager anywhere, we're going to send her. And we're going to go ahead and take a look real quick again at what the trade availability is. Wool and tobacco, and now it's exporting, or importing, excuse me. So wool and tobacco are the only things that are good for exporting. We've got the tobacco plant up and running, so let's go ahead and go into trade, and let's just add a ship, the Maria, to tobacco. And that will help us in our goal. We are very close to reaching our export profit goal. We're about $14 short. So that's I'm just like zooming all over the place. I don't know where I'm going. Okay. Let's take a look at the almanac real quick. I'm always overzealous in my scrolling. You'll notice that no matter what I'm doing, I'm just like scrolling everywhere. We still have a lot of homeless. We don't have a lot of money right now, but I'm okay with going ahead and putting in another residential home just so that we can help out with that a little bit. We've got another quest over here at the palace. Wants us to build another library. I've encountered this quest before where it's like, you have a library, now build another one. It's a little strange. I'm going to let it go for right now. We just hit our export profit goal, so the U.S. President's going to arrive in a month. Now, I've done this quest before, so I have a little bit of insight on this one. And I'll tell you, the reason I did this before and I'm not naturally playing it is because, well, I got about halfway through the game, through this particular mission, and then the game crashed. And there was no autosave or anything, so I had to start all over again. So I kind of know what's happening. I know what's coming up. So basically, we have to win these 3 wagers, and each wager we win, we start earning a bit of the friendship with the president. Each wager is all about exports. It's exporting different items, agriculture, logging, etc., etc. So in this particular case, we need to export 10,000 in profits from agriculture, which means tobacco. And when we export that much, we will win a wager, which will be one of the 3 that we need to win, and we'll get a reward from the United States. So we've already got that tobacco trade set up. So that's important. We should look and see what other trades are available. Tobacco, coffee, cocoa right now, and bananas. So the question is, should we put in a cocoa plantation so that we can export more cocoa?
The Crown has decided to impose a real...
Now here's where the extra tax comes in. The Crown is going to charge us $50 per building as a tax. So that's something we do need to take into consideration as we move forward. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what it's going to take to build a cocoa factory. We've got lots of green. I mean, we are prime for cocoa here. So I think that's what we need to do is plop in a cocoa. Let's flip this around here a little bit. Whoop, too much. All right. Plop in a cocoa plantation, and I'm going to get my road here going so that we can connect it all. Alright, so right now our agriculture profits are pretty low. We're building the cocoa plantation, so once that gets built, we'll launch into that trade option. The Crown just sent us a bunch of money, which I'm going to now use to build another library, since that is the quest that we were given. You know, whatever. I'm going to put it right there. We do have some citizens leaving, and I'm not really concerned about that. It's mainly because we just don't have enough jobs. And as we continue to build, we'll have enough, and then some will come back. We just unlocked the cowboy research, so we have upgrades available for the ranch. I'm also going to go ahead and unlock unlock the sickle, so we get farm upgrades for these plantations here. But that means we now have an upgrade available for our cattle ranch for manure fertilizer, so we're going to go ahead and do that. So we've got the new library being built. We now have the... Wow, what did I build there? The cocoa plant there. So let's go ahead back into trade. And let's add a ship to the cocoa export. Okay, and we're still exporting. We are about halfway through on the export of meat. And we've got a long way to go on the export of agriculture. So that is definitely something we need to pick up. And with tobacco and now the cocoa exporting, we should be able to pick that up pretty quickly. And hopefully we won't have a problem there. Alright, we just completed the trade offer for tobacco. So we're going to want to have to take a look and see what other trade offers there might be. Alright, now we've got... so we just built that new library, so we've got some response. So we can get $4,000. Or we can open up new trade routes with the smugglers or import revolutionaries. I'm not really concerned about revolutionaries. I'm not concerned about importing them. But a new trade route with the smugglers definitely sounds good to us. We're going to need lots of trade options. So it's definitely good for me. Cocoa, we've got a ship assigned. We're good to go. Coffee, we're not producing. Fish and corn, we're not producing. So right now we're really relying on coffee to be cocoa, excuse me, wow, to be exported enough so that we can bring in more money. So that's where we're going with that. We're relying on the cocoa. It's a good price, so let's see what happens with that. We're about a third of the way. We've got lots of ships coming in though. So I mean, we've got the trade ship we've assigned plus the regular ship, and we've got 2 docks running. So we should pretty much real easily hit this goal without a problem.
Has come to steal your treasures.
Apparently we are under a pirate raid. And we have no troops really to defend other than those ones at the palace. Excuse me, what am I doing? So they're going to go ahead and fight these pirates, which is going to be interesting. See how that plays out. We've got 2 groups. We've got like 3 people here fighting these 2 huge groups of pirates. I don't think this is going to end well, to be honest. In fact, our people are now retreating.
Our land is untamed and wild.
We can go ahead and build some guard towers. That's not necessarily going to help, but it could be a nice... it could help. I don't know. I think we're going to lose that cornfield no matter what, though.
President, as you know, it is your will alone that keeps Tropico together.
Adding a new member of the dynasty,
Ireland would crumble to dust
if we want.
forever.
And then they give you different competitions you can have. I don't... Wow, I've not done this one before. This is interesting. I guess let's do an arm wrestling competition. And I'm going to pick Landlord. Wow, that is interesting. You're definitely not going to get the... that's not too bad. They just kind of give you... Huh, that hat looks funny on him. Actually, that hat... The color scheme is off, but that hat doesn't look too bad. I love that they just kind of like force you to use certain people. And then you just kind of have to go with it.
Anyone can try to...
So the next export one that we got here from good old Teddy Roosevelt is 10,000 profits from cattle. So we've already got the cattle farm in existence.
Great news. While searching...
All right, we've unlocked plantation upgrades. The pirates seem to have disappeared. And we seemed... Alright, so we unlocked an upgrade. I want to unlock another upgrade. We're going to go with a lumber mill. I'm going to slow this down a little bit because I'm...
Okay, you proved me wrong.
Planning.
I'll give you that, buddy.
Okay, so we finally hit 10,000 in the agriculture upgrades. We're gonna take the fancy U.S. trade deals because that is definitely something we need to export more. So we can export cotton or cocoa, which we already are doing, and cotton. We can also export meat. We definitely need to export meat. That's part of the cattle profit bit. So we're just gonna let that go and add a ship there. We have a prop. Jeez, it seems like I can never do anything. New trade routes with smugglers is what I'm going with. We have a slight problem here in that we don't have anybody working it. We're going to invite a foreign worker who's educated. We have a problem here in that our corn plantation was destroyed. And for some reason, it wouldn't let me rebuild it. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can put one back in here. Because really the corn plantation was like the crux of our food. So that's the important piece.
Sir, the Crown introduced...
And now, of course, the Crown has decided that it's going to double the tax rate we were already paying. So now we're paying $100 per building. Also, note our balance is down negative. So you need to keep an eye on that. We finished our trade route for cocoa, which I'm not too concerned about now because that was for agriculture, and we're done. We've now exported enough agriculture. We don't have to worry about that. We won that wager. We are now working on cattle profits, so we need to export cattle profits. And I believe we have the upgrade there already, so we're good. We can do... We don't have enough money, so I'm not going to do it right now, but we could do an upgrade on the plantations. That quest is just to research 7 technologies total, and we are missing a... Let's see who I have. I have landlords, housing quality, or general. Let's go with the general for manager. And I could bring in a foreign worker, but it's going to cost us a lot of money, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. At least not until we get some more money. We are just about a year away from having to do this. We are only on wager 2 that we're working on, so we do need to hopefully get the cattle exports up and running, and then we have to get to wager 3. Or we're definitely going to need a mandate extension. I think it's getting a little too close for comfort, if you ask me, as far as what's the amount of time we have left. Basically, that mission was just, or that quest was just basically telling us that the order is working on a plan to circumvent the absurd double taxation of our residential or of every building. In fact, here it is, and oh no, we just completed the exporting meat. I'm going to take a mandate extension here. I'm a year and a half out, and I wouldn't mind being 2.5 years out with the extra time, so that's what I'm going to do for that. We still don't have a whole lot of money. We're exporting some. We didn't export a whole lot, though. And here's the... Okay, so this is the... If we grease the palms of the order, they will get rid of our real estate tax. So I'm actually going to do that. We put money into the Swiss bank earlier, and so it's available. So let's go ahead and spend that $1,000 to do that. And we've got some more ships coming in, so we look to be in a pretty good situation. We are now... I'm going to go ahead and end the episode right here. I think this is a good spot. So thank you everybody for tuning in. We're gonna roll right into the next episode, finish out this mission. But thank you guys for tuning in. Please tell your friends, like, share the content, subscribe to our channel. I'm really looking forward. If you guys have questions or hints, tips, anything you want to recommend, please just give a shout out, leave a comment, let me know. Thank you guys again.